What's up, guys? Sorry, just getting this live stream going. All right, let's get my screen shared. How we all doing today? Finally got a decent day trading with me for y'all that were there. Hope some of y'all caught that trade with me today on Apple. So we got let's see here. We got IBKR. Wow, that's already taken a hit here at close. That's kind of interesting. We also have JB Hunt, and we have UAL, I believe, airlines. So this could set the tone for some other airlines. So far, we're already dropping here pretty quickly. Baj, I will do questions at the end. So let me just get through these earnings, and I'll get to you. I promise. Let's go back to IBKR. Still dropping off here pretty aggressively too. We have about 120,000 share sell and balance here on JB Hunt for the close. UAL still just kind of sloshing around here, coming back up. That was on a 5-minute chart, maybe. So I'm going to push here a little bit. So far, fairly muted moves. Anyone catch Apple with me today? That was one of my favorite trades. Been waiting for one of those opening drive plays. So that was that made me happy. That was a good one. The video had a pretty massive sell-off today. I'm not really sure why, but yeah, pretty wild there. We're not going to get that all-time high for a little bit now. UAL still nothing here. IBKR bouncing up a little bit. And then JB Hunt still pushed a little bit here. Why, you don't like Apple, Farouk? Let me go see what time some of these other ones are going to come out. 1 sec. Let's see here. UAL reports. Yeah, right at close. So that one's already out. Looks like it's pretty muted. You like Android over Apple, that's why. Okay. JB Hunt reports at 05, so in a minute and 20 seconds. And UAL, I already went over that. JB Hunt, and then IBKR was 1 minute after the close, so that one's already out. Looks like that one's struggling here a little bit. So we'll see how these go. Guys, these don't last very long, so I do have a free lesson tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So that's kind of where I'll do a little bit more lesson-based type stuff. But again, if you guys want to ask questions now, you can. Yeah, so IBK looks like they're just going to stay down here. Not much movement on that. JB Hunt is up a little bit. We also have 30 seconds here until that number comes out. So let's just wait for that and see what happens there. And then we can go into questions. I can go over what I did today. But tonight is where I'll do more of my charting for the next day, just because things could move here after hours a little bit. I don't really want to give you guys any ideas, and things change. So about 5 seconds here for JB Hunt. There it goes. 182. Looks like it just got stuck. We'll see where this one goes. I don't expect a ton of volume on this one, but we will see. Yeah, I'll get to you, Baj. Let me watch this for like one more minute, and then we'll go into questions. Anyone else have anything you want me to go over? Any free people in here want to know about premium, anything like that? I'm totally happy to go over that. I have one. So tonight I'm going to have my free lesson that I do once a week. And Thursday will be the last free stream I'll be doing this week. And I have two others that are premium. So for anyone that doesn't know the schedule, there you go. But I was super happy with today's day trade. JB Hunt coming back down here. Let's check out UAL one more time. That's pushing up. IBKR still down. So I think that one's probably going to stay down. So UAL is starting to find some life. There was one this morning. It was more so banks. Let's check those out real quick. Bank of America, not much. Citi, I know Goldman Sachs was up and sold off all day. So nothing too crazy on some of these banks here. PNC, I saw Schwab was up actually. That did really well. All right, so I'll go into questions now. So SoFi. So when you ask my thoughts on it, it's kind of vague. So I mean, I could tell you like, look, it's right around this $10 level that I think it's going to be important. I don't know if you want to buy it, if you want to sell it, if you're already in, if you're looking to get out, anything like that. But I think I talked about this the other day briefly, but this $10 level is going to be important. Just psychologically, you want to see buyers hold that above if you want this to go higher. You do have a high back here of $10.49. So, honestly, like the $10.50 level is going to mean a little bit more there. So I would pay attention to that. It looks like we did hit that briefly today. We hit 10.49 on the dot. So we never hit that $10.50 mark. So I would keep that in mind. If you're long, I would say, you're going to be safe as long as this can stay above that $10 price level. Yeah, 100%. Tesla. Yeah, so Tesla, honestly, I'm pretty surprised at. Again, I think before I get into this, so obviously we know that like the robo-taxi event is what actually made this thing sell off a little bit. And we saw Uber actually go up on that news. So, my thoughts were honestly to short Uber when it was up in here. I never did, but the idea would have worked pretty well. I do think this has probably come back lower simply because, look, you see volume completely died out here on day two, meaning not many more people were trying to get back involved in this. And you saw this come back down. But so like my thoughts were going to be like to short Uber and actually try to buy Tesla because nothing necessarily bad happened with Tesla. I mean, we do know now that it seems like the AI robots we saw there were operated by humans. They weren't actually like AI. They weren't totally autonomous, but they were kind of like remotely controlled, which to me is interesting that they would even do that if they weren't totally autonomous. But I think a 10% move down on Tesla was a little much, considering there wasn't anything that was necessarily bad besides that. The robo-taxi event went well. The robo-taxi's out. It's exciting. It's good for the future, and this really hasn't gone anywhere. So I can look at it two ways. One being Tesla's staying flat, which is interesting. So either it breaks back down under 215 and maybe this sells off down to 210, 200. I don't know. I would actually rather be a buyer down here, thinking that, all it takes is, one day and this could bounce back up above 225 and maybe go for 230. To me, I think that the better trade here is probably wanting to be long, wanting to be a buyer. But again, they could easily just roll back over, especially if we get like one weekday in the market, everything's selling off. This could easily come back lower. The only problem is the market's been decently strong the last 2 days, and we haven't really seen this thing bounce. It's had very, very slow days. Maybe you get an upside move, then a downside move, and then it ends up closing near 220. So kind of right in the middle of that range. So want to keep that in mind. Consolidation just kind of means something's going flat, and I think it can go either way. Anywhere from 215 to 225 is where the consolidation is. So above 225, I think this could quickly get back to 230, maybe 235. Under 215 with some volume, maybe we slip to 210, 205, and 200. The only thing I would want you to keep in mind, though, is this massive, massive downtrend here. We're sitting right back on it. Okay, we're right back on this. So back above, obviously this is further away, but back above, 260, 265, 270, that's where this thing could really blast off and get going. But right now we're just stuck. Maybe we can, trickle back down lower, but I think the real trade is actually going to make this to the upside up in here. So right now, kind of a waiting game. That doesn't mean you need to buy calls for 3 months out. But I think if I was forced to trade this for a little bit longer term swing trade, I'd want to be a buyer, and I'd want this to go. I would want to see this bounce back up. I think that's where the odds are. Yeah, definitely maybe tomorrow. We got close to it again today, I think. And then we just sold back off. So that was kind of it. Yeah, again, you're going to have to be wide on it. You're going to have to give it some time to mess around here. It's just I'm waiting for maybe it just needs a little piece of positive news. Maybe it just has to shake out all these people down here. Then once you get that strong break at 225, like I said, I think that's when it could really make a move higher quickly. I'm not talking 30, 40 points. I'm talking, maybe 10, 15 points back up to 230, 235, 240, something like that for the short term. But the big trades on Tesla are going to be around 265, 270, 275. We start breaking through those levels. 300 probably going to happen. Obviously, we don't know, but that's to me where a lot of the action is going to be. And I know there's a bunch of lines over here, so it's kind of hard to see, but you could almost draw like another wedge forming. So maybe this does just kind of chop around until after the election, and then the new year comes out, and that's when this thing just completely blasts off here. So I would keep that in mind as well. Any other questions, guys? YouTube, Twitter, you guys can ask as well. All right. Well, I'm not going to keep y'all here all day. Again, I'm doing a free lesson tonight. That'll be a full hour. That'll be, a real lesson. Well, I'll go over things a little bit more in depth. But just here to check out these earnings. Let me go over them one more time for y'all that are interested. So we got UAL. That's honestly not doing a whole lot. Quick little pop there, but coming back down. IBKR still staying down. I think that's probably done for. And then JB Hunt actually ended up taking off here. Wow, look at that. 187. Almost a 5-6% move there. All right, guys. Well, I guess we can call it if there's nothing else you guys have for me. Nicole, Jack, Ooft, Gabrias, McNulty, TK, Duco, nothing. Square. So I have heard from some of my trading friends that they were looking at Square. I think it's just moving really well. I honestly like PayPal more. Just because this has obviously just been a little bit stronger this year, right? Where you're kind of sitting on a little uptrend looking thing here. It's not the cleanest thing in the world, but obviously this is moving pretty well. But Square has been doing pretty well too. So definitely be paying attention to this high back here, this like $73, $74 level. And then obviously 75 is going to be decently important there. To the end of next week at the moment. Cool. Yeah. So I mean, obviously this is stronger, right? So I'm glad you're going to the upside. I just manage risk there, right? All you got to do is kind of trail your stop. I think as long as this holds over $70, you're going to be fine. Other than that, I would just kind of look for a breakthrough of 74, 75 bucks. And then maybe this goes a little bit higher, but it kind of depends on how long you want to hold it and stuff like that. So drug was a big one that moved today. I saw that. Massive. Oh my God. I saw it at 15. This is where I saw it earlier. That's a massive move. That's actually pretty unbelievable. Do we know the news on that exactly? Looks like there's a bunch of halts today. Right at close, you see that move. More people got squeezed out. Bunch of halts. Interesting. Yeah, that's more of Lee's specialty. I held Tesla once medium term. So did you say is a good buy now? I mean, yeah, there we had that signal here from Quinch at $140-ish a share, I think. I'm not going to say this is like a perfect time to buy, but I do. Again, this isn't really my style of trading, but I do think that this could easily be a good spot for this to buy. You're not going to ever buy the bottom perfectly, So as long as you're in with enough money to where you're not going to freak out if this thing comes a little bit lower and goes down to maybe 215, 210, 200 at the most, then you're doing the right thing. But maybe look to buy into this if it keeps going lower. But obviously, just use basic risk management. No reason to blow up on one simple Tesla trade, but. Yeah, and this is insane, Porter. Up 14, almost 1,500% today. Unbelievable. Sometimes all it takes is one trade like this a year, and you can make all your money. I'm sure there's a lot of money made today, and also a lot of money lost. Think about all the people that try to short this. It went from $4 to $20. I'm shorting it. Oh no, we're at 30. I'm going to short more. Oh no, we're above 30. We're at 35 now. Yeah, HKD was that crazy one. I'll go and just show that chart. And look, I mean, it does nothing now. It's at $3.55 a share. Look at it back here. In 2 weeks, it went from nothing, right? Barely any dollars up to 2,500 bucks. I remember that trade. I was actually at the trading firm when that happened, and they got a call from someone looking for a bailout because one of the firms was really short from 1,000. And obviously it went another 150% on them, stock, share price wise. So they got blown up, and that's how a trading firm blows up. It takes one trade like that when they just keep trying to short into it to try to make money, and then they get ran over so hard that they get margin calls, then they're gone, and they're wiped off the face of the earth. So my advice is always be very careful with this stuff. No reason to go in too heavy. If you want to try it with very small size, totally fine. But if you're going to go in with your life savings, you probably know what's going to happen. And you don't want that to happen to you. So that's about all I got, though, guys. Any other questions, or should we head out of here? Again, lesson tonight. So that's where I'll have a lot more time with y'all. But I'm in the middle of doing some work here. All right. Well, I guess we can call it earnings season is starting up again. So there's going to be some more exciting earnings coming out in the next few weeks. And I think it's going to be worth it to protect your capital right now. Don't go for any big plays. Be smart. And you're going to make it. A lot of opportunity in the next couple of weeks, guys. Earnings season is starting. We got Netflix on Thursday after the close. So that's going to kind of start the big techs. So, all right, y'all. Well, I'm going to get out of here. Have a good rest of the day, and I will see you all tonight. Bring those questions, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Later.